Hey guys, so I just got back in town and putting this video together. This is more like a first impression video. We're going to do a few problems with the cameras. I do want to go over more in depth what we had thoughts of. I haven't even really got to look at the cameras myself. Josh and Jerry did a lot of it because I've been out of town, but we are going to do a more detailed review post-season. That way we can have a full season of using them, and the issues that we ran into, the problems that we did run into, hopefully we can either find a resolution or we'll know it's just a problem. But like I said, this is a first impression kind of after a quick little bit of using it, the problems that we ran into or what we liked about the cameras. There was some of both. So like I said, we're going to do a more detailed review later in the year after we have more experience with the cameras. But that's enough of me. I'm going to get to the video. Let me finish editing this thing for you guys.
Morning guys, we're back with you doing the trail camera review. I ran the Hawk Ghost HD right at $100 for that camera. I was not pleased with this camera. It took really great quality pictures. It really did. The thing about it was that you run the entire camera from an app on your phone. If you don't have cell service, I know Jerry ran the HD20.
Yeah, I ran the 20 and he ran the 16.
And we both had trouble connecting to the camera. I actually couldn't even get mine to switch to video mode because it wouldn't connect. And I was in good phone service, and it took good pictures, but the problem with mine was that it took a ton of pictures whenever it wanted to. There was no...
It had high sensitivity. It triggered a lot.
Yeah, extremely. And made sure that our light settings were right. We didn't have, cleared everything in front of the camera. So we
took weed eaters in, weed eated the grass, so nothing would trigger. And it still took a lot of shots, depending on, mine was facing to the south, directly from the north, so the sun wasn't hitting it, and it was still taking pictures.
Yep.
We were getting sun flare on others.
Yeah, extreme sun flare. It took good quality pictures.
Oh, the pictures were great. The pictures looked great. Trigger time, great.
It lasted mine lasted about 12,000 pictures for a set of batteries, which is a lot, but only about 300 of them were deer.
And that's just strictly because of the how many times it took.
It just triggered all the dang time.
I had a little bit different issue besides just the extra pictures taken. In the time I set the camera up, I installed the app, set the camera up, put it out, everything worked fine. In the meantime, I broke my phone. I went back, got a new phone from Verizon.
Right.
I could not get my new phone, the app, to sync with the camera.
Right.
I emailed Hawk Services and asking them if it would remember the code onto it that I had and what it would take to get back to it. Never heard anything back from them. It's been 3 weeks. I still haven't heard anything from them. So just the service part really threw me for a loop. I mean, even if it's not that big of a deal, the issue was I wasn't in very good phone service where I had it, so I could stand right next to you with the camera,
right,
and with my phone holding it there,
and set it.
And I couldn't change the settings. I couldn't even after I reinstalled the app on my new phone, I couldn't even get into the camera without having to shut everything off and redo the entire thing.
Yeah, and they advertised it as a Bluetooth camera, and it is. That's how you set it with Bluetooth connection. But the thing is that you cannot check the pictures from your phone. You have to pull the card, and it's a micro SD card. And that we each had to go and spend an extra $20 for a micro SD card and the adapter to read the card.
Because every camera I run otherwise is all normal SD.
Regular SD cards. We run the regular 8, 32 gigs, some 64s. But that was kind of a pain. So
we Josh and I never did get it to work into the video mode because we couldn't get service to it without taking the camera completely home and resetting it up and going back out.
Yeah, and that just doesn't fly. That doesn't cut it.
I'm going back out today, and I'm going to take it to a different spot that actually has phone service. So I'm going to try it, see if it does a little bit better, because it did take good pictures, but overall, it wasn't worth the money for me.
No, I'm not. I won't be buying another one. So that's the Hawk. Next, we've got the Moultrie.
The Moultrie, we had the panoramic. Let me double check this real quick. It was the panoramic PI-20.
Yeah.
And it sells for $199. Aaron actually ran these cameras, but he went off and was elk hunting or filming an elk hunt. So I checked them for him. I really enjoy this camera. I like this camera. It's actually 2 cameras for the price of 1.
Yeah.
It's got two eyes, 2 cameras, 2 lenses, one pointing right, one pointing left. Initially, I set it up, and it was taking a picture with either camera, whichever had movement. So it was only getting one camera picture this way, one picture this way, depending on where it moved. And the quality seemed like it was a little bit better than it was with the panoramic view.
Okay.
Because you could zoom in and see on there, when the panoramic view took a picture of it, you got this entire area in there, and you couldn't zoom in and see as much detail as you wanted to on certain deer.
Yeah.
However, it worked perfectly for seeing where deer come and go into the field.
Yeah.
It's got a time-lapse option or for it that you could do.
And we set it up in the corner of a field, overlooking, you know, in a 90-degree angle.
So we caught everything moving either way.
Yeah.
And it worked great for that. It really did. On it. So
picture quality was,
picture quality was actually, it was decent on the a portion of it there. It had a really green hue and color to it.
Right, it did.
I sent a couple pictures to Aaron while I was out hunting, and he noticed that big time. That had like really saturated green view to it.
Yep.
And it seemed like that was in all the pictures that it had, so it wasn't just certain parts of the day.
Battery life.
Battery life ran really well on it. I had to replace the batteries once, but that was because weed grew up in front of it and was triggering it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
that was our error.
Yeah, that was my bad. But I realized battery life worked great. Trigger speed seemed like it worked fine. Everything was in frame. Never had any issues with it at all. So.
Yeah. Video mode.
I did.
We just kept it on the panel.
We just kept it on the. It rained during that time period, and I couldn't get back to it.
Let's see Covert. Yeah.
Yeah. The last camera we had was the Covert Ice Cam, and it was a very solid build. Very well put together.
Simple,
extremely simple.
Yep.
Has a preview deal, so you can see what like LCD screen, so you can see what commands you're putting into it. It also had where you can view back and see what you're taking a picture of.
Yeah. Before you get out, you can see what you're looking at.
So you can aim it down the trail like we did.
Yep.
For it, and so you can adjust where you want to.
You can do that with the Hawk if you can get it to connect.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to point that out real quick.
Yeah. No, it worked great. The daytime photos seemed like they were quality. It doesn't have quite as many megapixels as the others.
Right.
I think it was only 8 megapixel versus like the 20 that the other ones.
Yep.
But it took. It was plenty good enough to see what you were doing on it. We had it down a trail, so we didn't get as many photos as we did at some of the other places with it. But it seemed like it triggered every time something was coming and going to it. It has a option for the 3 trigger burst, so we did set it up. It took multiple pictures, so we had plenty of time to see them into there.
Right. Battery life.
Battery life is good. It's still going plenty fine. We had it on. We did set it on video, so we had 2 weeks of photos, 2 weeks we had 2 weeks of video, 2 weeks of photos.
Yep.
And it's still going strong. Battery life is still well over 3/4 of the way full.
And the price on it was.
The price on it was $129.
Yeah. So for $129, it's a pretty solid camera.
It seemed like a good solid camera.
Yep.
Took good night pictures as long as they were within a semi-decent distance from it, and where we set it up on the trail was no problem.
Yep.
So yeah, we just didn't get as much deer movement through that area as we expected. So.
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of cameras with higher, higher megapixel for the money, but I don't think they're built as good. So we're going to continue this test, see how they do. If there's any updates, we'll let you know. But that was the 4 cameras that we reviewed for Smoky. Anyway,
in hindsight, they all work. I'll go back through real quick, just a quick reglance.
Yep.
The Hawk cameras, we didn't have luck with them.
Nope.
They might work in the right scenarios, but if I'm going to pick between it and something else, I'm going something else.
Yeah, and it wasn't just. I don't think we had just a fluke camera because we both had the same problems.
Yeah, we both had different problems in completely different areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff on it, so it wasn't an issue.
The Moultrie.
The Moultrie, I like the Moultrie. I really do. It's very strongly built.
Yep.
It gives you great observations for the entire plot. It seems like it'll work really well for a lot of different scenarios.
Yep.
So.
And then the Covert, like we just finished up, good camera.
The Covert's a good camera. So.
Yeah. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, let us know. Anyway, I hope that you find this to be helpful, and guide you in what cameras to get. And
if you're running any of these cameras, let us know what you think. See if you've had the same issues. See how you fixed them. Let us know what it took to do that stuff on it. So
awesome. Till next time, guys.
Really
Thanks.
appreciate it. Thanks.